Hey everybody, Randy here with Academia Christi, here with episode 13 of the Viri Christi Garden Blog. This is June the 5th, the feast day of Saint Boniface, and of course, this being June, happy month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and happy month of the Father. We have a few different things going on today, and it's Monday, so we're only 6 days from the last garden blog, hoping to get it back to Saturday next week. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if I get enough subscribers and followers on Rumble total, if I get 50, I have a video of me eating my very first cayenne pepper that I will post on both channels. So be sure to subscribe. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. All right, let's first take a look at what we got going on in the kitchen area, the old winter garden area. Mostly just being used to store things like down here. And of course, all our herb drying now. Just trimmed back a few different things. We got now our dill tray. We have just our mixed herbs tray still. Chives here not doing great. Parsley we haven't had very much of because our parsley stopped doing very well. Marjoram. That's mint back there. That's cilantro. That's marjoram. This, I would imagine, is probably lavender, and that's probably rosemary. Down on the right, we now have our basil tray. Just a few dried ones, and we do have a couple dried red basil. Mostly, though, fresh stuff. I just cut the basil back, as we'll see, the red basil, that is. See how different that looks now. Obviously, trimmed up the other basils just a bit, but and then also that lavender that we have growing on the front wall. Finally, just cut a little bit of that back, and this is all the dried or sort of dead-ish stuff that we were able to gather up. And here's a few of the fresh pieces still that came along with them. They're now drying up. Pretty big for a plate like this, but it's working, I suppose. A decent bit of lavender for sure, and I barely cut it back. Same with the basil, same with the dill, as always. And we'll take a quick look at a couple interesting things that I think are happening over here. I do know what this is now, but I keep forgetting the name of it. It's just a flower that obviously is perennial, keeps coming back. Look at all that new leafing it's doing now. After we saw it last time, maybe a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, it's just all these branches, no leaves at all. These are strawberries that are still hanging in there. Isn't it funny? They're just chilling in some water. There's some that are actually ripening. I ate one of them on video last time, but unfortunately lost that footage. So still haven't eaten any of my strawberries on camera because they keep getting eaten by other things when they are ripe outside, like another one just did, or else I would have one for this time. Here we have some of those red basils. I decided to keep, I believe there might be 5 of them in there, and we're going to root those in water, and hopefully I can get those transplanted somewhere, and we'll have a few more red basil plants. And finally, in here you may be able to see, I will turn it toward the light so you can see, our little bit of cayenne powder, mostly caked on the side, but there's a little bit there. There's also these larger shards, and I'm not sure if I can get those down. Maybe I'll be able to soon, maybe not. I think, but with this, I think I'm just going to maybe use it for the chipmunks that have been not ravaging, but roaming pretty freely around. I am going to, probably not very sanitary, but I am going to eat some of this right now. Down the hatch. It's gonna burn my finger probably too. Oh, that's hot. Doesn't have a bad flavor to it, actually. Now going through the rest of the video with a spicy mouth. Here are, as always, just gonna show our jalapeno and cayenne seeds. I might plant maybe some more of those. I don't know what I'm gonna do, or I'll just package them up for next year. And finally in here, you probably would have noticed that the hydroponic system is almost empty once again. Just 2 tomatoes left. They're actually not the exact same as what was on here, I believe, because I moved them. I wanted these corners open because I'm going to actually today plant some lettuce, or 3 different types of lettuce and 1 spinach in the corners. And I'm going to have those as a cut and come again here in the kitchen throughout the summer at least. Probably maybe a little bit into into the fall, obviously, but this winter maybe even in the fall. Probably going to put more peppers in here so I can do more winter peppers this winter, and we'll do some interesting things for our off season, our indoor season. This was the early girl, and this was the super sauce moved back. So interestingly, 2 of the hybrids from Burpee that are the smallest. Not that they're doing poorly. The 2 that didn't come up were a green zebra and the Marglobe. But yeah, they actually did really well. But you may be wondering now where all of them went. Well, here they all are. 15-gallon pots, I believe, because that's pretty much the minimum for most tomatoes. So we have our Cherokee Purple, our large red cherry, our Roma, the Brandywine red, then we have the Bodacious beefsteak, and at the end is the black crim. And then we have the Amish paste right here, which was just transplanted today. The rest were done yesterday. And on the end, I believe, is the super sauce. I was wrong just a second ago. It's the beefsteak that's still inside. I believe that's the super sauce. If not, that's the beefsteak, and the super sauce is still inside. But I think that's the super sauce. Yeah, so here the Cherokee Purple, the cherry, large red cherry, and the Roma, the very first ones I got out here. Having a tough time keeping most of the bottom leaves off of the dirt. Everything's successful here and here, almost here, at least that one is also doing well. I think they're slowly perking their leaves back up, and then they should be okay. Just use some pieces of shirt to tie them up very loosely though. That one's not very loose, I guess, unfortunately. Gotta slacken that one a little bit. Which might go into the dirt, but hey, don't want to rip it out of the ground. And then over here, our Brandywine red, our Bodacious beefsteak, the hybrid from Burpee, and black crim on the end. The black crim usually is not sitting in the dirt too much. Try to get this. It's very droopy right now with this leaf up there on the side until it does it on its own. I'm glad our Brandywine red is looking pretty nice, I think. I'm looking forward to this one just because it reminds me of Lord of the Rings. And lastly, the Amish paste, which just came out today, and the super sauce, I believe it's the super sauce, which were both doing really well at first. They're really droopy now. And I didn't have either of them with leaves even close to going into the dirt, so hopefully I can fix this one a bit. I might have to redo this trellis job here. I think for now it'll be alright. I'll have to come back to it later. But yeah, there we go. 8 of the tomatoes out of the 10. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hopefully they don't all die. Nothing too crazy going on here, but I figured I'd give you a look at the front wall here, where the lavender and all these other goodies are. Whatever the spiky thing is right behind the other lavender looks like it's flowering. Oh yeah, those are flower buds, all right. Looks like a pineapple. Well, unfortunately, the raspberries here and just there aren't doing amazing. The one in the back, I suppose, is doing a little better, just because it's smaller here. I wish I could have gotten those out. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day I'll have those in the ground, and maybe I'll be able to save them. All kinds of stuff though going on with the wild blackberries here though. You can see just how massive these are getting. This one and this one here. the leaves are prickly even. And also we have these new, nice, new chunky shoots down here. Nice green ones coming up down here as well. This is looking like it's coming up really nice now. I'm wondering if my weeding job helped out with these newer shoots at all. There's a couple smaller ones even down there. So raspberries may not be doing great, but these look like they're doing wonderful. Back here next to the garden, I did a little bit of weeding over there a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and happened to find all this common mugwort, and then I was sort of just letting it dry and die over here. It smells really nice though. That's what kind of clued me into being maybe something to look into. In the Seek app I use, called Seek by iNaturalist, and National Geographic told me that yeah, it was common mugwort, so saved it. And since I lost the footage of out here last week, I guess I'll do a more in-depth look. Oh, Bird is using the birdhouse just behind the camera. How lovely. Some of this you may have noticed is completely new. Most of this is all dug out. You can see some of it I'm still working on here. We'll zoom in a moment. But I have a bunch of new stuff going on that side. Even the peppers, I don't know if you've seen other than what I will be showing you here. And a lot of new stuff behind me, so let's get closer. Just gonna start off with a good old rhubarb and mustard. Some creepy looking brown bug there. Oh, he just fell. Don't know what that is, but hopefully he's not a bad guy. It'd be nice to probably cut some of this stuff back soon, especially to let that mustard inside here grow nicely, much more nicely than it is. The old-fashioned stuff, even the green wave here on the outside is starting to get overtaken in some spots, and also starting to get eaten quite badly, I think by slugs, because of all those bags we have back there, I think is the cause of the slug problem. But you can see some of these mustard leaves are matured, I think now, looking very amazing actually. I actually thinned a lot and got a lot of mustard greens out, smaller ones. Another one of those brown bugs. I'm gonna have to use the Seek app and figure out what those are, because they're probably, maybe they're the ones eating holes and everything. Well, in the rhubarb. Well, actually in the rhubarb and the mustard, yeah. But as always, it's just kind of doing its thing. The old-fashioned underneath is straggly. It's getting stragglier and stragglier. All right, and we will get a quick look down the line right here. This spot is some basil that we just did by seed. There's like 4 spots of 5 of a circle of 5. It's quite elaborate. Down this line, we now have spearmint seed sown mostly the whole way, almost to, if you can see that marigold down there, because we ran out. I wanted to go further, but I ran out of seeds, unfortunately. Hopefully it'll just run, and we'll try to focus its running that direction. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure I'll be battling it back more than I'll be worrying about it spreading, so that's good. It's tough to get them all on the camera at once because it's a decent sized patch, really. They just look terrible. But we have our 10, well, what used to be 10 peppers here, mostly gotten eaten back. You would have seen the picture of it. Here are one jalapeno that's still living. It had an extra leaf, but the leaf blew off or something. We had a pretty bad but quick rainstorm and a bit of wind too, high winds all of a sudden. The day before yesterday, maybe. So that was rough for some things. This was the other jalapeno, got eaten back quick. Our other jalapeno that got eaten back quick. Here you see there's actually still a banana pepper surviving somewhat, even though it looks horrible and had little black bugs on it. Those like black circular guys that kind of look tick-like. I'm gonna have to seek those too.
going to start having to seek more of these bugs before I kill them, so I know what I'm dealing with. Over here, finally, the other banana pepper that just got destroyed. Still a stump there. Probably going to redo some of these. I don't know exactly what I'll put in. We'll see. Back here is where I had the 2 California Wonders and our 3 cayenne that nothing is concerned, nothing cares about this cayenne, probably because they look so terrible, or because they were the hottest peppers that we had in here. Maybe I'll plant more cayenne. Maybe I'll plant the other cayenne jalapenos that were rooted in water, and we'll see how they do, because only one of, well, 2 of the 3 jalapenos I suppose got eaten, but actually I don't think anything has eaten them since after, like, it happened the first day or 2, and then since then this is what we've had. And so I don't know. We had a possum that we noticed just a couple days before that, and then that possum got hit by a car, so maybe it was the possum. And here, a bit of a closer shot of the marigold here on the end. We have another one on the other end. Just gonna, more pest deterrence, hopefully. 2 peanuts left. We had planted more, but I don't think I caught those on camera at any point. They've been in here for a few weeks, though, I think. A couple weeks. Almost as long as the other pot's been done. Only 2 there doing anything. Actually, that one's not even in the ground anymore, so I guess it's done. Okay, so down to just this 1 peanut over here, which is still rooted somewhat in the ground, and there is a sharp metal aluminum piece here. I don't know where that came from. This is just a trench I dug so I know where I can step. Now I guess I could make it a little wider, and it would be able to go the whole width of down that way as well, where the path is. There's this little patch here. I didn't water it. I meant to. That's another basil seed patch. So we have 1 on each corner of the current garden area. We're going to put 1 on those 2 corners too, but they're not quite ready yet. By those 2 corners, I mean the other side. And here down this patch, you can't see anything yet other than the wetness, but there are 3 rows. In the very back here is Bib, and we have our Paris Island Poss, and then we have our prize head lettuce. 3 rows going the whole way down to that. We should get a whole lot of lettuce, hopefully. Yeah. And finally, a whole new look for the middle here. Still have our carrots, but as you can tell, there's no more radishes. So that side's all actually opened up. I might plant something different on the other side of where we now have all of our candy onions from the nursery finally planted into the ground. So yeah, just right now, carrots and onions. Another black beady looking bug here, but it doesn't look the exact same. And of course, our other yellow marigold on the end here too. I think it's called Yellow Hero Fire or something like that. Here, you have what we were able to get out of that. I would say a pretty good harvest myself for round 1. And these are all the good ones that I was able to get out. Out of the big ones, even like this size, I would say I only lost about 10% of them were a little too bad. I also have my little pile here that I sort of had to cut into, but they were still good pieces. So, yes, that was a sweet one. So I would say all in all, not bad at all for the first go of radishes. I think I would like to have done half as much as this, planted half as much, and half as many seeds in every spot. So I think if I would get another, hopefully I can get another packet of seeds soon, and I will be able to plant probably 4 plantings out of the next seed packet I get. Now doing it a little more properly, knowing what I need, because I think maybe a little over a month we could have harvested these a little earlier, but a little over a month for this. I think I would rather have about every 2 weeks, and just do half of this every 2 weeks.
so we get a more continual harvest through the summer here, through the spring and summer, and even into the fall, because these are so fast to grow. So yeah, I guess that is the plan, and I would say a successful first harvest. All right, just a quick look at our older apple tree. Still, of course, plenty of apples growing, growing, not really ripening yet, nicely. I'm liking the look of it. Of course, the tree itself, as you can see, not the best at all structurally. It's actually quite horrible. The little I know about what's happening here, I at least know that. Now out here to first of the grapes, the one on the left from my approach at least, looking wonderful. Has a little new shoot down here, popping its way off to the left. Got this one growing at the very end of this branch, straight upward. Got a little bit of growth going on right in the middle here. Two marigolds looking just fine, I think. So everything's taken well into the ground, as far as I can tell. This grape much more straight up in the air. I guess it's because there's a straight up branch and then has a new growth straight on top of that. Again, new growth, a bunch of it down, nice and bushy down toward the bottom. A crinkly looking leaf down here, not sure what that's about. Marigolds again, looking fine. Different colored flowers coming out. They are, I think, red, orange, and yellow. All of them will appear here. As you can tell, these will probably be some strong trees with all the wind they get out here in the field. And again, actually, not a whole lot of flowers that I see, but I do see an apple. And I bet if I look closer, I will see more. There's one. So yeah, I guess the bees did their job. Marigolds over here looking fine. These nice reddish ones. I think those might be my favorite. It's hard to choose though. I still hear the bees buzzing around, but unfortunately no more apple flowers for them over here. But you can see there's one and there's another apple fruit. Just beginning to fruit right there on the end. Got a couple more on this branch and a couple others. Looking good. That was our Macintosh. Here's the Honeycrisp. Same thing, I would bet. I can't see as many of the flowers. Got some kind of nasty bug hanging on there. Gotta smush him up real good. I don't know. Those don't look like they actually were successful there. Maybe they're just so tiny that I can't tell yet. These flowers and all these really, they all look like that. They all kind of look like they didn't quite take. But I find that hard to believe that that one over there was okay and this one wasn't. Yeah, maybe you can see there. This is what a lot of them look like. They have almost look like they are just beginning. If anything, they're just beginning to fruit, to ripen, or to grow. And of course, let's not forget our marigolds down here. This one doing okay. This one, I guess, is doing all right. This flower doesn't make it look amazing, but there are a couple new flower buds right here, so it's good. Good. Right, so first, just a quick look at things that we got from the nursery. Still haven't planted them because we haven't done that front piece that we're hoping to do in the yard. Did take a few things out because we used them somewhere else, at someone else's house, to pretty up their place. So a few things gone, plus the marigolds I used. So kind of slowly getting rid of some of these things. Hopefully be able to do that a little faster because I'm sure they would love to be out of those containers. Spearmint, again, got a really nice look at this last time, and as you can see, it is just lovely, lovely. Probably one of my favorites just because it actually looks proper, because it's hard to kill mint, although I've done it plenty of times already. But it looks amazing, smells amazing. I just love the way it looks, like a real plant, like it's supposed to. Bushing out, always bushy, bushing more. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how vigorously this thing grows. And of course, it's rhizome here that has popped off.
I don't know what it's going to do with that. Who knows? Maybe shoot off multiple things. It's like still going. I'm not sure if it's coming out of the ground or not. I don't know what's happening there. All of our strawberries off over here by the fire pit now. Again, also, I'm sure wanting to be transplanted. I guarantee that was a chipmunk. Always eating my stuff, always eating these strawberries. I believe everything that's happened was mostly due to the chipmunks. Not positive. A lot of the little red guys, tiny red bugs on these two. Ooh, real chunky strawberry there on the end. I really don't like the look of all these red bugs. Yeah, a few more strawberries. This one was growing there, but it's of course gone as well. But they look nice. Certainly can't complain. Again, even if they're stuck in these containers for now, really want to get them out. Really would like to. Into the ground, all of them. Just loaded with these little bugs. This is where I've seen them the worst by far, is on the strawberries here. They're all over. And here are the final ones. That leaf is looking horrible. Some brown stuff on this one here. Not sure what that is about. And on here, there's another one. Got the three that that were runners from these other three. This big run, I have such a chunky runner here. I hate to keep it on like that constantly with it not rooting, but what I would like to do is get it in there on the side of our pot there. But of course the wind is apparently a little too much for it. There's another one here going off. I'm trying to get it to stick in the side up here. Just not having it. Of course, here's the actual one at the top, red everbearing. It's taken really nicely. You know, it's got some not so great looking leaves down there. A flower started there. Yeah. So over here I sort of changed the order of things just to try to help deter the chipmunks. I have our basil. Well, because of the basil, I have this on the end, on this end. The basil looking great. Just cut all the basil back a bit. The parsley, again, just not looking great. It honestly doesn't even look like it's growing very much, but there are these two still green leaves, so whatever. Took one of the dill shoots off. It's looking really nice. Just been nice and sturdy, strong, staying up like that on its own almost since it's been out here. Here are parsley and marjoram that's like still half struggling and half, well, there goes that one, just broke that off. So I don't think that parsley is gonna last, but whatever. Some of these actually are looking like this one right here I thought was done. A goner is less gone than the others, I guess, but still probably a goner. There's a nice little leaf there, got a new one started down there. The marjoram, however, that's back here, really did all fail, unfortunately. Parsley up here all looks like it's, look at all that new growth. It's amazing how much new growth is on this stuff, and it's going to be getting, actually could have gotten fertilized today. My goal was to fertilize everything I did with the blue Miracle Grow stuff. It was 2 weeks ago, basically. I was going to do it again today. If I can get to it, I will. You can see this marjoram. Actually, that marjoram was doing much better until I just looked at it today. I thought it was doing okay still. Apparently not. None of this marjoram. Oh my goodness. It's all dying except for this really nice one. That's so strange. It's so strange that they would all die off except the one that's looking just fantastic here. Because that was not the case. I do not know what to say about that. Except that's unfortunate. But we have this marjoram where we cut the top off of it this week, and now if you can see how amazing, how lovely all this new growth looks, I have some really high hopes for this one. Now this marjoram, this parsley here. There's one green piece on here. That one's dead, this one's dead. There might be another green piece on here. I think this is just done, unfortunately. Look at this tomato leaf, though. Look how much bigger this tomato leaf got. So this is still going. I might end up throwing this in the garden after all, especially since it's got this leaf now. If this leaf comes back, if it can get another one as well, maybe, especially if I can get two decent sized leaves going on here, I think then I'll transplant it into the garden in some nice spot where it'll have a chance to grow. And the parsley here, I think it's working its way back. Got this one that I left on, the old dying one I left on there for a bit. It's done its job because we got this nice big green one. Got another nice one started down there. All right, that's probably well, the only parsley. I shouldn't say that because this other parsley, some of it started coming back too, so I don't know. It's up and down. Here we have our, well, what would be our lettuce planter, if we could get any lettuce to come up. I don't think any of these things are lettuce that are coming up currently. They don't look like anything. Actually, they almost look like basil, I'm not gonna lie. The arugula, which is doing fantastic, both of them. They almost look a little different. Mostly, I think it's just because of this, whatever's happening to these leaves here. But fantastic, huge leaves now. Could really get a proper little salad out of that if you needed to, if you wanted to, at least if you're going to mix it with other things. Definitely not bad. New growth, new leaf buds all over the place. Yeah, loving it. Even though I don't care for arugula myself. Here, our herb planter. Just this one parsley, I think. The one's not doing anything down here. Or over, oh, never mind, yeah. So this one has this guy, and this one has that one. Even though this one is barely rooted at all anymore. Probably because of that heavy rain. Probably didn't help it at all. Gotta close some dirt over that. We also had our basil that we had inside in the little container. The few straggly ones, we planted them out here. They got kind of dug up by chippies that were looking for other things. They didn't care for the basil, they just were digging because they're jerks. Two of them still kind of left though. They look horrible. They're probably just going to die off, but we do have dill and cilantro seeds started again back here. Probably just going to start some basil seeds here. That's probably what I should do. Here, a good way to see what had happened during that rain we had. It was very hard rain. But also the gutter, and the roof is right above here, and I guess it was dropping right off into here, so I made this giant trench. That's what that's from. Still just haven't filled it in because I'm lazy, but it's fine. It's just fine. Somehow this peanut is still going. It was coming back to life, it seems. Let's see if it'll actually still do that now. I'm not positive. This peanut, of course, doing just fine. This one, I still can't get it to stay up, but it's looking really nice. Nice dark green leaves, lush, bushy. Hoping these tendrils will start doing their tendrily thing. I don't see any of them trying to yet. Maybe up here. Here are bonsai chili experiment peppers. The fish from the second. Hopefully hanging that in the camera right. Everything's super dirty because of that rain again. But these look just as good as always, if not better. Darkening leaves. This one's still a little light, but new growth, I think, is what we're seeing up there. New dark green growth. And the 3016 Ring of Fire here. Those other ones all fish. Ring of Fire. I'm liking how the Ring of Fire looks. It actually looks even more bushy than the others. Might just be because of the variety, of course. And these two lovely fellas here that are just getting bigger and bigger every day almost. This the Aleppo, this the Hungarian Black. New leaf growth at the top all over. New leaf nodes starting all over the bottom, going up. I'm really excited about how these two are looking, especially this Aleppo. These Aleppos are pretty hot, so I'm also looking forward to the the peppers themselves. Looking forward to the Black Hungarian because it's actually kind of mild usually, but it has a decent range as well. So does the yellow hot wax. Both of the Hungarians seem to have quite a range on their spiciness. But these can be pretty mild, so these might be good for the normal person to eat. Whereas I'm just looking forward to seeing how much an Aleppo will burn my face off. But they both look really nice. And of course the black Hungarian's probably one of the prettiest peppers that we have. Those and the fish. I think the fish will end up being pretty cool too, with all their weird splotches. Here on the right end is where this basil has ended up. I cut a couple leaves off just because they were pretty yellow. Seemed they were probably just going to fall off anyway, if nothing else. Again, hoping that it'll start bushing out a little bit down here. It doesn't have a whole lot of leaves now. I hope I didn't just kill it, but I think it'll be just fine. Again, this marjoram that we saw last week was doing this kind of same thing, sort of browning up and dying toward the tips. Still doing that, so I may cut those off and just do what I did with the other one, let all this growth do its thing, open it up, free it up, and see what happens with that. Definitely not going to let it go. Has a couple of leaves that fell off. I'll start collecting those up, I guess, because they're probably still good. They still look good. And then finally here, our sage. This one that looks horrible. Don't know what's going on with it. Just kind of dying for no reason. No reason that I know. These two look just fine. And then these two are last two spike lavender. Also looking good. I guess I forgot to show over here by the wood pile, we actually transplanted one of each of the dry herbs. Here we have the one rosemary that came up. Unfortunately not looking amazing, but hopefully it'll work out. One of our marjoram from the cups over there, one of the better ones, of course, and it's also still going, so that's nice. That's why we picked it. Hopefully it wouldn't die already. One of the lavender, of course, looking good. All the lavender looking just fine, and the sage picked again, one of the better looking sage, and it is just doing lovely. So this is our dry or Mediterranean herb planter. Hopefully it'll do some pest deterrence, chipmunk deterrence. We'll see. Don't know what the robins are on about. They're all over the place. What birds talking about over there? Anyway, potatoes. Possibly dying back. This one, I'm pretty sure this was the one that should be dying back, maybe? Actually, no, it shouldn't be. It's smaller. It's not the... This one's the oldest one that has all these empty leaf or flower nodes up here. It has a couple new flowers, actually, I can see started or something. Of course, has some flowers still left. I don't know what's up with this one. I'm sure it's just fine. It's like all these... Actually, look, all those flowers are gone now, too. I'm really hoping these will start dying back soon, because we have had these potatoes for quite a while now. Here, excitedly, our red basil. You can tell all the cuttings we did. Looking amazing. There's only 6 left. There were like, I think I was right, about a dozen of them. Looking really, really amazing now. Obviously, again, kept the 6 biggest ones. Man, it just looks awesome, and I think they're just going to all take off now, as they already have been, but even more so. There's also a lot of this undergrowth. I wouldn't mind taking off either, because it's kind of... I bet it would make the plant look... it would make it look a lot better, but it's doing just fine. Like this leaf there could probably go. So the red basil was in the same spot on that right side of this side area, and this sweet basil is on the left side of it. Again, trimmed a little bit off the bottom, opened up those little leaves that are growing now, those little nodes. Looking really nice. This is on the left side, again, trying to deter the chipmunks from entering the vicinity of any of the plants. Haven't lost anything to them, so that's nice. Again, I don't know if they're actually trying to eat any of these plants, or if they did anything to the peppers in the back, but something was. And I'm pretty certain it's the chipmunks eating the strawberries. Alright, we've been given a pretty good look of the pepper brand experiment peppers, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. Hello, bee. Get out of my face. These two cayennes that were rooted in water, still doing okay, but this one's doing better, much better than this one. I should get them out of there soon and probably back in the garden where the other ones failed. See if they'll fail too. These are the 4+1 jalapenos that were rooted in water. Oh, these birds are very loud. All doing much nicer than the cayenne, so probably going to put all those in the back as well. Here are our last 3 California Wonders. Looking quite amazing. I don't really want to put those in the back because they'll probably get eaten, and you'll see where I put the other ones soon. Again, all of our peppers from the pepper brand experiment, they are actually starting to look pretty nice. If I'm gonna be honest here, they are bushing up. They're starting to get a little bigger. Some of them. I mean, look at this one. Look at all that growth down there. All over. What is this one? You gotta check it out now. That is a Serenaseed cayenne. Looking amazing. This one looks, I mean, there's a lot of good ones now, so just have to figure out where I'm going to put all of these. I need to put them probably in the ground. These are probably going to be the ones that go in the pepper specific area, just because I need them all to grow the same way, and there's so many of them. It's probably the only way I can do it. But really loving what I'm seeing here, especially again from these, because I really want to see some habanero take off. Really loving like that habanero. That's a Nature's Edge. This one here too, that is a sustainable sprout. Doing the same kind of thing all over, like so many little tiny leaf buds all over there. Yes. And again, they can get fertilized again too with the half strength, probably. And here we are now, some of those other California Wonder I was just talking about. Look at how it's not dirt. I don't know what this brown stuff is on these leaves. I need to figure it out though and fix it, because that's not good. But yeah, 2 California Wonders. These are actually looking really nice too, because I planted them in here. I think they're enjoying being in the nice fabric pot. Doubled them up just like I did with the hydroponic peppers. These are 2 of my banana peppers, obviously, because they actually look like proper peppers. Got some nice big flower buds on these too, of course. There goes one of them. Again, still high hopes for these. They're going to stay here inside this pot, inside the fenced in area, so that will at least kind of deter some critters from getting them. Hopefully they will last. And this is my first attempt at the outdoor gardening, so all the pests and things are a little new. It's new to me. These are 2 straggly, small, very old peppers. The Serrano in the front still doing its thing, the cayenne in the back still doing its thing with flowers. And you will notice this one much more than the Serrano, but they're both doing it. They have their leaf nodes all over the place, coming up the stem. I love it. Even these old guys are doing it. And here over by that basil, we have the last of the banana peppers here, growing in these singular pepper pots by itself, of course. And the same with another California Wonder. Did the same thing with the banana peppers and the California Wonders. We kind of, 2 of our sweet peppers, if you will. Again, this California Wonder looking just fine. This banana pepper looking quite lovely. Another big flower bud. I'm going to wait for that one. The potted stuff, really hoping the potted stuff works out. It's a little more expensive to deal with, because you do have to do, not only you're buying the pots, you're buying the dirt. Yeah, we'll see. But it does maybe help out with the pests. And finally, for out here are 2 poblanos. First, the second batch of our hydroponics. You can see this weird brown spine thing happening here, not the brown splotches like that were on the California Wonders, but this brown spine, browning of the spine is very strange. But I again really like the look of these peppers, as all the other ones, leafing up toward down the stems nicely, covering up all that lack of growth, which I really like to see. And then our yellow Hungarian hot wax. Looking all right, I suppose. Looking all right. I don't know. And the Anaheim chili, curling even worse with its leaves. It's going nuts with the curling. They're like completely turned around on each other into the new leaves coming to. The new leaves look very nice though, except this weird one is curving upward. The new leaves look really nice. I'm hoping that it'll start flowering soon. Honestly, it's been quite a while for that one. Here we are again on the porch. Mostly the same thing is going on. All our peppers, big peppers, actually have a cucumber pot out here. All the seed starting stuff and some over here. And I will bring you closer, of course. All right, we first have our melons here, our canary melons in the back. I'm using the side of the container to keep these guys up because they were sagging a bit. Now they're doing it on they're up on their own. That's nice. Here are the sugar baby watermelons, and here are the crimson sweet watermelons. Got our honeydew, 4 of the 6 now, and 1 of the 3 cantaloupe in the front. Not bad, not bad. Actually, they can probably even get a little bit of fertilizer soon-ish, and probably go in the ground soon. Over here, just like before, got our 2 Gala apples, not doing anything yet, if they ever will. We have all of our cucumbers here coming up nicely. Got the Boston Pickling, the Space Master, the Market More, and here the Tender Green. 2 Market More and 1 Tender Green, all yet to come up. I think when this Tender Green though, it might be coming up. They've all actually. I think I just gave them all. I could be wrong. I thought I gave them some fertilizer. Maybe I just gave them regular water. I did just give them regular water. We also have some marigolds started here. I had 4 marigold seeds left on my own, so I planted them in that. Maybe we'll get 4 more marigolds, who knows. Not a whole lot worth mentioning over here. Still have that aloe, the chives that I kind of neglected because they're over here in this corner. And up there, I just planted, we still have our strawberries, I guess, from the Dollar General kit. And I just planted right there, big thing of peppermint that I'm hoping I can use for some pest deterrent. Over here where the cucumber pot's new home is, the tricumber, we have oregano next to it. Again, just because why not? We don't have any oregano anymore. Now the tricumber, a lot of craziness happening here, mostly because I guess, again, I neglected it a bit too long. So we have our dill here that's doing okay, and actually these couple ones, they bent a little bit too much. I think they may have broken. Perhaps one of them toward the bottom broke. Maybe even this one toward the top is a little snapped. Hopefully it'll be all right. The dill in the back here is okay. However, the cucumber, the new cucumber, really wants to be attached to it because I didn't give it anything else to trellis up, and that's the main problem right now. And so it's really getting pulled sideways at the moment by the dill that wants to go over this way, which is okay, which would be okay if it wasn't for the cucumber using it as a trellis. You see, we already have a nice cucumber flower coming up here on the new cucumber. On our old cucumber, we have more flowering going on. It actually is coming back really nicely now that it's out here on the porch. 2 new flowers there. This cucumber, I believe, is also still getting bigger. So that might be an actual one that we ended up pollinating. I think it is, or else it would have probably fallen off by now. So yeah, tricumber pot not doing terrible outside. It will move back in for the winter because I'm going to keep the tricumbering happening. Hopefully by then I will have mastered the tricumber. We'll see. And now for seed starting. I will give you a sort of sneak peek or sneak here at what's coming next week. Is going to be more seed started stuff that's different because I will be getting new seeds. I will not tell you what seeds yet, but there will be more seeds on the way in 2 days, and so by next garden blog we will have them planted, and yes, excited for that. But here in our 2 makeshift seed starting units,
full of water, which I don't think I watered them recently, so that is probably not the best. First here, we have our Serrano. We had two different types of Serrano. We have Nature's Edge seeds and Sustainable Sprout. The ones in the back are the Sustainable Sprouts. The one in the front are the ones in the front, Nature's Edge. And then I'm back here. We have 3 habanero because I don't think I have very many habanero, at least ones that are doing okay. So other than the ones from this the pepper brand experiment, so wanted a few more habanero. Here they are. Hopefully they will work out. These were just planted the 1st of June, so pretty recently. First we will look at the lettuce, which looks lovely. That's actually seems like it's getting a bit long, to be honest with you, as I look at it again. True leaves started. I was thinking about selecting one from each, cutting them out today. I didn't get to that. I might get to it later or maybe tomorrow, but that'll be done soon. So then whichever one's chosen, we'll have a better time in there for the next, I don't know, maybe week until it goes into the garden. Celery next, I'd say also looking really nice, especially compared to the celery we had before. Got some nice true leaves on some of these little guys coming up. Yeah, real nice. Here we got our cantaloupe in the front. These 6 finally got a cantaloupe coming up. Got our 3 zucchini here in the middle. 2 of those looking really nice. Guess maybe I don't have to plant any by seed in the garden because just those 2 will probably be plenty, to be honest. Then we have our 8 cucumbers. So on the sides here are Market More, Space Masters in the corner, Boston Pickling right here. So we got, and then also the tender green purple. Both of those doing really nicely. Boston Picklings also, this one's just come up. So yeah, not bad. They need watered, definitely. They usually need watered every day for sure. They dry out quite quickly in these pots. But looking nice. And that's it for the melons and cucurbits and other things. Now, before I get into the other tomatoes and peppers, these are the Cayenne Nature's Edge Gen 2 from the 18th of April there. So they're quite a bit older than most of the other ones. Looking amazing, just fantastic. They've been maybe just one fertilization, but it did wonders for them. Definitely some of the best peppers I've grown so far up to this point. Up to this point in their life, and up to this point in my gardening career. I would really like to get some of these out, if not all of them, into something. I don't know where I want to put them yet, to be honest. Maybe a few of them in the ground. Again, I do have that spot. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do there. I could put some cayenne and some jalapenos, some of these Gen 2 ones in the ground, even right behind those onions I just put in. But yeah, I really like the look of these. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 7 of them there. All really nice looking. All right, and now to the 12th tomatoes from then. These actually all just got their first fertilization, so hoping that they will start popping up real nice. I can still feel the water in there. Hopefully I didn't give everything too much water because everything still has a good bit in it. It wasn't a real hot day and dry day today like it was normal. It has been. Again, black creme, beefsteak, Cherokee purple. 3 of each of those, all looking pretty nice, I would say. Comparing them again to the ones that we had in the hydroponics that I'm assuming came out really nicely. Like they should. Yeah, the next ones, we have our yellow plum, brandywine red, and large red cherry. Everything has come up in this one. Yellow plum just still not looking great. That's actually been down like that for a while. I don't know if it'll come up, but the other ones all looking really nice. Here we got our aroma, marglove, and Amish paste. Margloves all come up, still waiting for the I'll just knock that seed hat off. Maybe that'll help it out a little bit. It looks like it's growing. only 2 of the Amish paste, only 2 of the Roma as well. Last of the 512 tomatoes, we have our Chadwick, Napa Grape, and Super Sweet 3. Well, I guess the grape isn't a cherry type, but all small tomato types, all from Burpee. I'm not sure what's going on with that Napa Grape there on the side. It's been doing that again since last week too. Hopefully something will change there. And then we have from the 12th 2 different pepper seed starting units. This one is the last of our pepper brand experiment. We have the Rebel Gardens Serenity Sustainable Sprout and Nature's Edge. That's the jalapenos there, cayenne, habaneros. Everything has 2 right now. It's been that way since last week, I believe. Not bad. Strange that only 2 jalapenos came up. I'm wondering if that's all we'll get. They're usually first. And finally, from the 12th, we have our Jimmy Nardellos, our cherry peppers, cherry bomb peppers, and our pepperoncini, Greek pepperoncinis. Our last cherry, still with the seed hat. Let's see if we can help that guy out a little bit without breaking him. Still waiting on the Jimmy Nardello. Maybe that'll come up, maybe it won't. I might even fertilize these soon. I don't think I did them, but I think they, by next week, they will be. I kept them all here because, just because of the way I need to put them back up on the shelf. It's going to be easier for me. Our first tomatoes of the, well, first new tomatoes from the 23rd. These are all the Chadwicks and then the cherries on the end here. All the Chadwicks have come up really lovely. Just one cherry yet to sprout. Looking nice. Again, these will probably also get some fertilizer by the next stream, by the next vlog, because usually wait maybe a week or so after they sprout to do that, to do a light feeding. And then we have our plums and our grapes. The plums, the grapes are the Burpee, the plums are the non-Burpee. We have 5 of 6 grapes, 2 of 6 plums, but I'm not sure about this one here. I'm not doing amazing, but yeah, there you have it. And as I get through these, I can put the other ones away. Here we have 523 again, our super sweet, our cherry, regular large red cherry, and our Chadwick cherries. Still 3, 4 for the super sweet, 1 for the regular cherry. And we got our Jimmy Nardello and Cali Wonder tray here. 4 of the Jimmy Nardellos, 2 of 6 of the California Wonders right now, all still pretty small, but hey, they're peppers. They'll take just a bit longer, at least than the tomatoes, maybe 2 weeks per germination for them, maybe a little less, you never know. And finally, from the 23rd, our jalapeno Nature's Edge Gen 2. Still nothing coming up from that. It's a little disappointing. I wonder if I should do a new tray of them or something. It's strange that none of these would come up, but so many of the cayenne would. And we do actually have peppers from the first here. So they're not going to be up yet, of course, but we have more Greek pepperoncinis, we have poblanos, and more Anaheim. We haven't actually done any Anaheim or poblanos in the seed starting things. And just in the hydroponics, the few we have, so have those. I have more, trying to get more of every type of pepper we have. And here we have our yellow hot wax, Hungarian yellow, our Hungarian black, and our cherry bombs again. Don't know what's happening in the back there, if it's just dried out or something, or if that's actually a Hungarian black coming up already. I doubt it. And lastly, we have, again, still from the 6th, we have 3 of each here, so that's why the label's on the back. 3 Aleppo, 3 Serrano, 3 more Serrano, 3 Hinklehots, and 3 Pekin. I'm really hoping to get those Hinklehots and Pekin. Don't have any of them yet. Hopefully they'll work out this way, though. We have a lot more peppers. We really need to start figuring out what to do with all these guys. I have 1 banana pepper left. I decided I was going to put it in this pot, like the same pot that the jalapeno or old jalapeno has. and just keep it on the porch. Maybe take it out sometimes. I don't know. I'm just going to try to baby this one and make sure that we have one banana pepper that actually works out and I can actually get some seeds from. So that is hopefully going to be this guy. Big old flower in there that we'll be plucking off soon. Has some nice growth. Leaf nodes started on all these leaves. Yeah, so high hopes for this guy. If not the other ones, you already saw that 2 of them got eaten back out of our 6. So yeah, already not doing great. All right, and for our final first round of hydroponic peppers, here the singular jalapeno I was just mentioning. I'm going to show it first because I need to get it out of the way to show you better the other ones. But you can probably see right there, perhaps, giant flower buds all over the top of this thing, and giant, nice green leafy growth all over. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's alive. So yeah, I'm loving it. We are going to have a mess of jalapenos here and on the other ones. I know it's only been a few days since I showed you this because of the footage last time, all the screw ups I had. So it kind of looks still the same as it did last time, but a little closer you can see now. It is just looking amazing, I think. A little more normal. Still not quite what a pepper should look like, but at least it will produce. All right, first we will focus, of course, on these 2 smaller ones. Let's talk about this one first. Again, nice bushy growth all over, down toward the bottom. I keep finding these little red ant spidery things. I'm not sure what they are, but they're annoying. Probably not good for the plants. Still waiting for these 2 cayenne that look like they were pollinated to actually start fruiting. I think the one toward the back here, toward the end, might actually be a little further along. At least it looks better. But all down here, nice green, dark green, bushy growth, especially compared to up here. There's also more flower buds starting. So I think the pepper just has decided it's going to go down here instead of up here. You can see how amazingly bushy this guy's getting. The one that we cut back completely after it was done fruiting, the one that fruited nicely for us. So keeping that in mind, hopefully this thing has a really nice root system, and that's why it's doing what it's doing. I guarantee if I look closer, I would see a couple of little flower buds. Actually, I think that's one right there, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think I am mistaken. That's probably a leaf. But either way, it doesn't need the flower buds. I'd probably take them off if I saw them and just let it bush out like this a little more, because it's going to look fantastic, I think. Especially, I think it's going to have 2 nice big ones again, come big branches off the top here where these 2 are starting. And finally, the biggest one, of course, you can see it's got some leafy growth all up and down the stalk as well. You can now see very nicely these, I'm sure, these 2 ginormous cayenne on the end here, looking amazing. There's a very tiny one still growing right here. It's looking nice enough though. I don't think we have any more. I guess it's just those 3 for now. There might be another one that's pollinated here on the end, but it doesn't look too healthy. It's a little flower right next to this small cayenne. Also doesn't look amazing. They will be getting fertilized, I think, soon though, so maybe they'll give another little boost. Maybe they already need to fertilize. Maybe they're trying to tell me it's time for fertilizing once again. And now finally to these last 2 jalapenos. Not really sure why I saved them for last, other than just because that was the way I did it and have done it the past couple weeks, I think. Again, got the 2 in here. Neither of them, I should say, fruiting just yet. Definitely have some more flower buds, as with all the other peppers. Not nearly as many as the other jalapeno that by itself it's doing wonderful. I don't actually see a whole lot of the flowers now that I'm looking closer, but I'm sure that they're there. If not, they're coming. There's one maybe. But yeah, not bad. Still 2 really nice looking peppers, even as I grab a giant leaf toward the bottom. That's fine. It was again toward the bottom, so that's okay. I did cut off up here. There was this branch, I think, went a little long. Yeah, it was a bit longer. Ended up just chopping that down. Now kind of nice, same size as the other one. Um, didn't have any growth, so it's okay. Even kind of like this. Oh, I guess it has some leaves starting on the end, so I guess I'll keep it. But yeah, not bad. I also want to maybe try to keep as many of these smaller little offshoots as we can, just so it kind of balances things out a little better. But I really like the way they look, for sure. Well, that is it for this week's garden vlog. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and definitely subscribe. I will be back, hopefully, like I said, this Saturday, which is only going to be a 5-day break between this one and the next garden vlog. But have a good week, and I will hopefully see you then for episode 14. But until then, peace.